Hi, I'm Danny and these are my diecast disasters. In this video I'll be restoring and customizing a Matchbox Ford Escort Cabriolet. These were produced from 1985 until 1989 and then again in 1998 in a 5-pack. This little model was Matchbox number MB156 and they were made in Macau. Taking a closer look at this example, we can see the main issue that it's slathered in a pretty horrible paint job. Paint's got all over the wheels. I guess somebody's tried to give it some sort of green candy paint job over the white. All of the parts seem to be there, they're just pretty scruffy and got a lot of paint on them. I begin by drilling out the rivets and taking the car apart. Try to be a bit careful if you're taking apart a heavily painted car like this, as sometimes the paint has crept in between the pieces and sticks them together and you can risk breaking them when you're pulling them apart. I went to a bit of effort trying to gently remove this yellow windscreen. However, after all of that, one of the front lights was broken and it was pretty horrible yellow colour anyway, and I had a spare one to replace it, so I'm going to use that instead. I popped the old wheels and axles out from underneath the suspension strip. I then used some poly stripper to remove the paint from the castings. These are cleaned up and burnished with a wire brush on my rotary tool. I use a 1.7mm drill bit and a 256 tap to drill and tap the rivet posts. I screw the screws in and then paint the body a dark steel colour. I mask off the detailing on the side of the car and spray paint it black. If you're ever wondering where the adrenaline rush from diecast restoration comes from, then removing your masking tape is it. I painted some details, first with silver and then colours over the top where needed. The base of the car was first painted black, and then I used some silver weathering powder to bring out the details. I then fixed this with a satin varnish. The interior sections had quite a bit of gunky paint on them. These are put in some tap hot water with caustic soda in it for a few minutes. This removes most of the paint, and what is left is weakened and can be easily rubbed off. The interior seat section was spray painted with a dark blue-grey and then given a black wash. The arch, canopy and front bumper section was spray painted black, detailed at the front and given a coat of satin varnish. Here are our refurbished parts ready to go back together. I've chosen these wheels as they're not low profile and I think they'll suit the car well. I give them a dark wash to make them pop a bit more. Here is my nice clear replacement windscreen. I use a pick to lift up the metal suspension plate and pop the replacement wheels in. I take out my painted screws. The windscreen is placed in first, followed by the arch canopy section. The interior seat section then fits in. And finally the base is positioned and screwed in place, holding the model together. Before we take a look at our finished Escort, let's take a moment to be reminded of what we started with. A fairly rough looking green monster of an Escort convertible. Although all the parts are there, heaps of the detail is hidden with thick grotty paint, you can't see through the windscreen, and the wheels are fairly ruined. And here is our Matchbox Ford Escort Cabriolet restored and given a makeover. The monstrous green paint job is long gone, replaced with a cool looking dark steel one. The worn out old paint covered wheels have been replaced with some much more realistic looking real riders. The faded yellow windscreen has been replaced with a nice clean clear one. And the interior is looking much more tidy in shaded black. I really like the way this car turned out, and I think the dark steel colour suits it much better than the white that you usually see on these Escorts. While we have a quick closer look off the turntable, I'll just take a moment to welcome all my new subscribers and say a massive thanks to everyone for the great comments and likes on my videos. Thanks heaps everyone. If you enjoy these old Ford Escorts, check out my Escort rally car build off with Rob from Matchbox Garage. I'll leave some links in the description. Thanks heaps for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.